And it's your favorite time of the week. It's time for the main viewer. We're going to cover all of the Star Trek news of the week. It's a very Discovery-centric week. You better believe it is. Lots of big stuff happening. We have a very special guest today. You know him as Lieutenant Christopher. It is Orville Cummings. What's up, Orville?
What's up, guys? Yes, thanks for having me. Thrilled to be here. Yes, as I
So,
was saying before, you guys are like my bridge crew. You know what I'm saying? Lieutenant Nor, Lieutenant Seagull, Lieutenant Cuts, Commander Longo.
Yes, Commander.
love
Yes.
it.
Love it.
I'm happy
Hey,
to be
don't
part
rub
of
it in
your
everyone's
bridge
faces.
crew.
Hey now. Hey
All of
now.
us will be ensigns.
Ensigns, yes. Ensign Nor.
Yep,
Heels up.
I'll take it.
But thank you so much for hanging out with us, Orville. This is going to be really cool. We really appreciate you. Also, everybody, you know, Melissa Longo is here, Commander Longo.
Yes. Hello.
Actually, I
Just
think it was
got
Kelly.
promoted.
It was Kelly Rowland that said she'll be your commander, right? Wasn't it her? Somebody knows. It's a song, you guys. Somebody knows that song. In the live chat, the people know that song. Dr. Mohammed Noor is here all the way from Duke University.
Hello, always a pleasure to be on the main viewer.
And everybody knows her as the walking exclamation point and the person that livens up every convention. It's Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel.
Hi. Super
My name's
excited.
Ryan T. Husk. I darken every convention. The dark cloud that looms over me. Hello to everybody in the live chat. We see you all. Dave Gregory, Glenn Iverson, Joshua Reeve, Chuck A. We see all of you. John Davis, Stephanie Berner, Robert Kaiser, all the way out in Austria, of course. Wow. Fran Iverson. What's up, Mark? We see everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Way more people.
Rashid. I saw
Rashid
on Rashid
in
was
the
posting.
UK.
Yeah, he was posting pictures from London Comic Con on Saturday. And guess who popped up in the Oh, you know what? It was Anson Mount's post. Then David Ajala comes in to Rashid's comment and is like, let's hang out next time you're in Canada. And I was like, whoa, I want to invite from David Ajala. That's amazing.
He's watching right now. You just might.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for notifications. If you're listening in, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. We'd really appreciate that. And now on to Lieutenant Christopher Orville Cummings. First things first, Orville, can you just walk us through the process of being cast in Discovery? Were you a Star Trek fan? How did it all work out? Were you excited, or were you like, this show better be good?
I'll go back to whether I was a Star Trek fan. I grew up watching Star Trek and Stargate and Star Wars as a kid. No, funny enough, I didn't really know the distinction between them because I just clumped sci-fi all as one. And as I got mature, I started to see how Star Trek is different than Stargate and all these other sci-fi shows. Then there was a period of me not watching it anymore because I moved into horror. That became the genre I really liked, and comedy, which is wild. But then later on, I think this was like 2020, was switching agencies, got new headshots, just revamped everything because I wanted to take my career to the next level. And I got this audition, and it was everything about the audition was vague. So that already put a red flag up for me. I'm just like, why am I signing an NDA for this? And what is this? Like, everything is telling me that it's not this, that it's that. And I'm just like, it feels like there's so many red herrings here, and they're trying to put me in different directions. So me, being an actor, I love doing my research on like what project this is because I'm just genuinely interested. Like, even if I'm not a part of the project, I want to know what is coming to like the network. And I realized I was like, Star Trek? No, this can't be. I'm like, the Discovery Star Trek that rebooted the franchise? Nah. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna pretend it is. Even if it's not, they're definitely using a script from it. So I'm gonna watch the first season. And man, when I watched the first season, I was freaking excited. Like, it was like because this is back when this is like the time where Marvel like was at its peak, and then this came on. I'm just like, whoa, yo, Star Trek went Marvel, like seeing Michelle Yeoh and Sonequa battle the Klingons. I'm like, yo, this is so sick. And first of all, I was just so honored that I even get the opportunity to be seen for this show. And when I did the audition, I did all my research on the old Star Trek, the Next Generation, and everything about this mustard yellow sweater because I'm just like, okay, this is the colors they wear. And it's just like it was such a fun process. The first audition that I did though wasn't for the character that I'm playing right now. It was for actually an alien, a part of Tilly's squad in season 4 when she crash landed on that planet, and she was that warthog alien Gorev. That
Right.
was supposed to,
Yeah.
The
that was the
Tellarite.
audition that, yeah, I was on hold for that role. And then a week later, my agent says, "Hey, the casting director actually wants to see you for another role. Doesn't mean you're not being considered for the last role. They just want to see you do something else." So I did that role, and then within a week, it was on a Wednesday at 11 a.m. I remember this because it was like, wow, because I almost like manifested it. I'm just like, I put dates on my audition. I'll do the audition and said, if I don't hear back by this date, I'll let it go and I'll move on with my life because I don't like ruminating on auditions. So I'm like, Wednesday's the day I'm hearing something back from it or not, and then that'll be it. My agent calls like, "Hey, you booked it. I found out last night, but further, I just want to call you the next day." I'm like, "What? That's no, for which role? For which role though? Am I gonna be in prosthetics or am I gonna be the human?" So they hired me for Lieutenant Christopher, and the rest was history.
Amazing.
Nice.
Amazing.
That's great.
All right, Anne Marie, we're dying to hear about this. Ask the question we're all waiting to hear. The song that's stuck in our head.
Oh my gosh. So what's like taken the internet by storm is your Discovery intro credits to the Family Matters theme song with
Yeah.
like the best like mashup of all time. So we were wondering like, how do you decide to do it? How do you choose which theme song? Like it's amazing.
Yeah. So it's just a little hobby that I've developed for so long. Like I'm not like a TikTok star or anything, but I love like making like funny videos. When I'm on set, I'm in the trailer, and I know it's just gonna be one of those days where we're just picking up the action scene. So there's not many dialogue, so I don't need to memorize my lines. So I'm in my trailer filming videos, having fun. And I had this idea because prior to that, I was just like, I had a hobby of doing photography, recreating album covers that I from artists I really love. So I did the NWA album cover with some of the bridge crew. I don't know if you see it on my page. We're all standing in a circle around the cameras low.
Yes.
So I'm saying, oh, that's really cool. Oh my God, I need to keep doing this, but I want to do one in a video format. And at the time, I was just on Instagram randomly, and someone posted this thing about like nostalgic, like early 90s and 2000s like comedy show intros, and I was like, wow, I forgot about some of these, and that one just like sparked me, and I'm just like, I want to use this audio one day, and I just saved it. And one day I was just messing around, and I was just like, everyone here on screen is do or die, but when the cameras are off, we're like just one big happy family. And family just kept being a recurring theme on that set, on and off camera, and I really felt like I want to do something special. And I said, oh yeah, I saved that audio. And those intros are hilarious too. So I'm like, it's something that's funny just to show people out there the other side of the crew when we're not in dire doom. Like we're just fun loving, goofy human beings. They're just, this is why we work so hard to protect this, you know? So it deepens the layer between the bridge between the audience and us as the cast members. And I'm really glad everyone enjoyed it. The feedback has been really great. Like I've been holding on to that video for a very long time.
Oh my God.
For
The
a
second you
very long
released
time.
it, everybody went crazy. And
Yeah.
you're so right. Like what we loved about like 90s Trek, especially with 26 episodes this season, were like the filler parts where you just see everybody hanging out day to day. So this is what was like, we got to have that a little bit more. And like, oh, now I know Tilly plays basketball. So fun.
Yeah,
And I'm
everybody in
also
the
like,
live chat, I just added the link to it so you could check it out yourself if you have not already seen it. Sorry, Anne-Marie, please
best thing
continue.
ever. Oh, I just was thinking too, like, so I know some people in the live chat and myself are big Murdoch mystery fans, and they always go back to the same hotels in the shows. I'm like, ooh, if you're ever a recurring like person working at the hotel again, we're gonna need a Murdoch Mysteries credit intro.
Yes. Yeah. The funny thing about Murdoch Mysteries, just to touch on that just a little bit, I used to work at an escape room in Toronto. And the escape room I was working at like a month before that audition came was the Murdoch Mysteries themed escape room.
Wow.
So
Oh my
I remember the day before the audition, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna be working the next day in the Murdoch escape room. I'll just bring the costume with me and do the audition. And the casting director is like, whoa, you're so spot on. I'm just like, yeah. I did my research. I've never I have watched a lot of Murdoch because part of the escape room is just to have it on rerun all day.
Yeah.
because we have to play it, and it was such a funny, it was a funny booking, the Murdoch one. It's pretty ironic. I love it.
You're like the king
Oh.
of dressing for auditions.
I know, right? I just love to get into the character, and just make it more fun,
That's amazing.
Can you tell us a little bit about your first moments stepping onto the bridge of discovery and what that moment was like for you?
Oh man, that was like the moment I was the happiest and most scared, because I was so happy because it's an honor to like set foot on that bridge, but it was also very scary because I'm just like, no, this must be a dream, because this is like beyond what I thought was real, because I always thought that there was a lot of like CGI done and whatever, like it looked really good, but I'm just like, what is CGI? Whatever. When I stepped on the bridge, I'm just like, whoa, everything clicks, everything makes a noise, everything sparkles. I'm like, this is. I said this on another interview before, but I went around and started pressing some buttons just to see if things work. I'm like, oh my god! So that was when you're growing up as a kid. At least for me, I was a very imaginative kid, and I would like play spaceship in a corner in a box or something, and to suspend your belief that you're in a box, and then to be an adult and stepping on this that helps you get even closer to the real thing of being on a ship. It was like such a surreal moment, and I went to the captain's chair, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit on it on the first day, I even met I want to, but I'm like, I haven't met the captain yet, so out of respect, but I'm gonna press this button though. So I press this button, and the captain arm comes up, and inside was a photo of the one of the original Star Trek cast photo with Jonathan Frakes, and I was just like, that is, who put this in here? And it was like a treasure I found. Like I was meant to find it. I was like, that is so crazy. But then I didn't know how to put the arm back down, so I kind of freaked out. But the props lady came out and pressed it. I'm like, oh, thank you.
It was Tig Notaro with duct tape, I bet.
Tig Notaro with duct tape. Yeah. What are you doing?
At least you didn't launch a photon torpedo at somebody.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it was really fun stepping onto the bridge. It's you always get a sense of like pride when you step on that bridge. Just the way the energy is, and just the people I work with, they're like amazing people. There was never a dull moment on that set, truly.
Can I ask you about a different production? Can you tell us a little bit about your Patty versus Patty production?
Oh man, yes. I know Mohammed wants to talk about this one. Yes.
Oh yeah.
The Patty versus Patty was a short documentary I did a couple of years back, probably in 2021. I did this movie before called Bite of a Mango, and this director saw me in it, and he wanted to work with me because he was looking for an authentic Jamaican to work with for his next project. And the project was about the history of the Jamaican patty in Toronto, Canada, because in 1985, the government of Canada wanted to ban the name of the patty, because a patty was a burger patty and not what we had as Jamaicans, which is, our national snack. So this man, Michael Davison, went to court and Consumer Affairs to fight for this. And so the story is about that, and how he fought for the naming of the patty, and how all these patty stores in and out of Toronto came together and banded together to fight the government on that, just to have our culture preserved. Because if that bill were to be passed, and these oh, there it is, that's the patty. And
I've never heard of these. This is great.
Yeah,
they're so good.
It's like an empanada. A lot of people compare it to an empanada, but it's stuffed with beef. And if these businesses would have went down in Toronto, we wouldn't have the.
Uh-oh, I think the brain have jumped in again. The brain. All right. Well, Mohammed, tell us more about this patty documentary while we're waiting.
I think you said exactly what it was. It was literally just this contrast about the use of the word patty in the context of beef versus those Jamaican ones. So they went through it. I'm assuming it passed in the sense that now they can have the Jamaican ones called patties too. But I love those things. I want to ask him what's his favorite filling. Oh, are you back? Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, let's hop into the live chat real quick while he hops back in.
Oh,
There you
I'm
are.
back.
We're back.
I'm back.
Mohammed
Sorry
had a
about
question for you. No problem.
that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, what's your favorite filling?
Oh, my favorite filling. Oh man. See, this is how you know this man's he eats a lot of patties because no one knew there's any alternative fillings. Everyone thinks it's just beef patties, but in Jamaica,
Well, can I just add that when I lived in New York on 125th Street in Harlem, they had little bodegas or restaurants that had those patties in there, and they had different fillings as
yeah,
well.
Yum.
Yeah.
yes. My favorite filling is this is gonna be wild. It's the my favorite patty is the cheese patty. That is my favorite patty. You can't find it up here. You have to go to Jamaica to get it, and it's essentially the beef patty stuffed with cheese, and it's really good. Other than that, I've had jerk chicken patties before. I've had
Yes.
jerk pork patties. I've had curry goat patties before. But the cheese patty, specifically the one in Jamaica, is to die for because it's not the regular cheese that we have up here in North America. It's very different, and it's really, really rich. It's really good. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Love
But
it.
hey, no one's ever asked me that. That's how you know he's a real one. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
That's amazing.
Well, Orville, can you explain to us, because I feel like you are one of the very few bridge people that kind of bridged seasons 4 and 5. You joined in season 4, and there was a high turnover in the bridge in season 5, but you were a holdover from season 4. Was there a different vibe between season 4 and season 5, or different kind of a group feel or anything like that? What was the difference there?
There was definitely a different group feel. I'll preface this by saying both group was great, but the old bridge crew, because they've been together so long, you could see it. Like I felt like very timid coming in because I'm new to this. Like I'm coming in season 4. You guys have been growing up on this show, and I came and I've just been a fly on the wall watching. Everyone is just like real family, not like just like work family. Like these people feel like like they probably go horseback riding or like I have barbecues together or dinners, and they do. We go to they took me on picnics and everything, and I'm just like, oh, everyone's so wholesome here. When the new bridge people started coming in, it brought a different energy, but it was more excited energy because the new bridge crew members were all excited to be there, and everyone else that was left over, Commander Reese, and everyone was very like welcoming. So when a new bridge member came on, they were just integrated so well, and we still had great chemistry on and off camera. So it was a different energy, but it was still good. It was like we have our old family that we know that's they all moved on, and then they have this new friends that we're making right now that are like on our same level of like energy. And it was very nice. It was very nice to see that it didn't really shift it too much, where it felt like a complete restart, and then we have to like get the fans liking these characters. Everyone, just because of that acceptance off camera, it translated on camera, and it was just seamless. So yeah.
Amazing. Do you have any like headcanon for your character, like things you've made up about Lieutenant Christopher's backstory?
Oh yeah. There's so much, because I remember because they were planning for more seasons. So at one point they're asking for like hobbies and stuff so they could like put it in the show. And I'm just like, you know what, Lieutenant Christopher, he does communications, but I kind of want him to be like a different guy when he steps off the ship. The ship. Maybe he skis. Maybe he rides a motorcycle. Just give him like something different. Like Earth Lieutenant versus Space Lieutenant is very different. I've done backstories in terms of like me and Book are like really cool. Like I believe in his cause, because when he's like acting irrational, everyone's like, "Yo, Book, yo, just chill." And I'm just like, "Nah, he right. He right. We should go get them." But 10C, that was wrong. That was wrong. I'm calling him right now. Hey, yo, 10C, that was wrong. What you did to my boy Book, that was wrong, bro. Huh? Beep beep. Oh no. So I would have fun like that.
That's amazing. Because like in Star Trek too, like you never know when you tell a story like that at a convention or something, like sometimes it'll then show up in the book or like the books about Star Trek or beta canon, and they'll take on like what the actor said about the character, and then it becomes like canon and then gets referenced in another show later.
But they see this, put it in there. A big one though that I really love. David Tomlinson and I were really good friends, and Linus, the character he plays, became really good friends with Lieutenant Christopher, and we are thinking of like when we're done our mission, you know, we're gonna start our own thing, you know, we'll have our own ship and we'll split the lead equal, and we're already thinking about like a spin-off, and it'll be a comedy, a sci-fi comedy, and we're gonna call it Black Dragon, and I'm just like, hey, let's do it. We even have our own like little, like when I see David on set, like he knows, like if the end, like we're 12 hours in and we're tired, we'll just look at each other and be like, Black Dragon, just to get it back up. We went through a whole backstory. We got motorcycles called lizards. It's great. It's great.
Oh.
Epic.
Yeah, so you two can have the Discovery Rewatch podcast.
Yes.
Oh,
Friendship.
Good idea.
Love that.
Friend of the show, David Benjamin Tomlinson. We love that dude.
we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Melissa?
Yeah, I was going to say Rashid in the live chat has a question for Orville. He asks, who is your greatest inspiration and why?
Inspiration. As an actor or as a person? Like in my life or in my industry?
Why can't it be both?
It can be both. Okay, it can be both. Wow, that's a really good question, because I do have a lot of people who do inspire me. Let's do one on theme and one that have always inspired me. I'm really inspired by, on the show, David Ajala and Sonequa. But I've spoken about Sonequa many times, and it's because she's a great leader, and I love that about her. And I learned what a true leader looks like by watching her. So she involuntarily, kind of taught me what a leader is supposed to do. But David Ajala, watching that man work is truly inspiring. You know, everyone's getting into their mark and David's pacing around. He's getting himself worked out. I'm like, wow, you could tell like he really cares. He really takes it seriously. So when the action, when the director yells action, like he's so in it. I imagine from the camera's perspective, it's David like this, action. And he's just so locked in, and I love his focus and I love his work ethic. He's doing push-ups, sit-ups. He never tries to like let his energy fall down. It could be a 14-hour day doing an action sequence. David Ajala is 100% on, and I respect that man for that. Outside of Discovery, I'm really inspired by, I love everything Childish Gambino, Donald Glover has done. I love that his career is so versatile. I don't know if you guys know him. He made Atlanta a very popular show. He's a comedian, he's a rapper, he's a writer, and he's an actor, and he's a director and producer. And I absolutely loved him in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I thought it was an amazing show, and I am truly inspired by what he's able to do with his career and the control that he has to like create, and he uses that control to create amazing art with amazing people. So that's what I want to do. So I really like respect him for that.
That's awesome.
I
really do feel like you're a leader in the bridge crew, especially like, the turnover. Like I feel like that really comes through on camera. Like, the camera swings to you quite a bit. So
yeah. I know how to be stoic and engaged. Yeah.
Mohammed, you had something for us?
Yeah, there was another question in the live chat about if you're looking forward to conventions and what about them are you looking forward to?
From JR Poole.
Yeah.
JR Poole. So I am looking forward to these conventions. I have my first one this weekend in Long Island, New York. And I'm really looking to just connect with the fans, because sci-fi is a very particular thing. Like people either hate it or love it. And I love sci-fi, and I love being around people who love sci-fi. So I'm grateful that I'm in a sci-fi show and I get, flown to meet the people who are like as interested, maybe even more interested than, because they've been some of them even watching this before I was even born, and they're still fans to this day. So it stands a testament to the quality of the show, and it brings me honor that I get to be a part of it and to go there and meet them, mingle with them, and have a great time. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I love traveling, so any opportunity to travel is a plus for me.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I'm sure the fans are
Okay.
looking forward to seeing you too.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
That's true. Here's a fun one from Faith Howell. She asks, who is Orville's Trek work bestie? Who does he talk to or hang out with most on set? I mean, I don't know if that's already David Benjamin Tomlinson or you got somebody else.
I have a lot of people. The thing that's so special about the Bridge Crew, season 4 and season 5 Bridge Crew, every individual on the bridge, I have a different relationship with. They're very dynamic, and Sarah Middich was a very special friend of mine on the bridge because when I first came in, she was the one like showing me the ropes, everything because our stations are very close to each other. But
Mhm.
she was such a beautiful soul, and I think that's something that I really like. I loved, and we would like come in and we'd have quote of the day just to like inspire us. We'll talk
Oh.
about like meditation, holistic stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool, and I just love, and I love to see, and I love to see like her trajectory off of Star Trek. She starred in her own a feature film where she's the lead, and I don't think anyone, and she's never done this role before, and it was raw, and it was a drama, it was a thriller, and it was a sci-fi, and she did such a great job. Just to see her growth was amazing because all we talked about was growth. When she left, transferred over to David, he moved over, and then we had a very special. It was so funny because like I felt like David is two people to me. He's David Thomason, such a nice human, and then he's Linus. And then when he's David, I'm like, oh, David, how's it going? We talk, we hang out, or whatever. But when he's Linus, I'm like, hey, Linus, and I'm like scratching him on his head, like I. And then he does this thing. He's like, oh, like he likes it. I'm just like, it's cute. So,
That's funny.
yeah, and Patrick and I have very. I almost look to Patrick. He plays Lieutenant Reese.
Yeah.
He almost as like an older brother, like a mentor. If I'm doing something and I could do it better, or giving me advice about the industry, he'll come to me and he'll like give me some really good, solid advice. And I'm like, wow, thank God this guy's here. Like he's such a relaxed dude, but he's so filled with knowledge and everything. And I really appreciate him and like the friendship that we had on and off the show. We're planning something for the conventions, but I'm not going to say too much
A great
about it right
teaser.
now. I'll just say that we're trying to do a collab thing, me and him, because we both do martial arts. So we might be
Okay.
teaching you guys, now that we're not doing Discovery stuff anymore, teach you guys, just in case the Klingons and the Breen come, how to handle yourself, So I'm gonna say that,
Yeah.
Amazing.
Also, by the way, Sarah Middich has started her own podcast, everybody. So go check that
Yes,
out. You can find it on
yes,
Instagram.
such a good
Okay.
podcast.
We only have you for another minute before you have to run, Orville. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Final question here. And feel free to say no comment on this one because, Fran Iverson, who lives in Las Vegas, by the way, says, is Orville going to be at Star Trek Las Vegas? Again, if you can't answer it.
Is Orville going to be at Star Trek Las Vegas? I'll say this right now, that offer is still pending, and I would love to be there. And what was his name again? The who asked the question?
Oh, that
Fran
was
Iverson.
Fran Iverson. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Fran. And if I show up there, Fran, don't be afraid. Come up to me and say what up, and remind me that you're the one that asked, and we'll do a
Yes.
special selfie together.
That's so cool.
Love it.
What a guy. What a guy.
Love that.
Well,
Yeah.
Orville, this has been so much fun. I mean, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really
Thank you,
appreciate you
guys. Thank
taking
you.
the time and for being so friendly. And now everybody in the live chat's like, damn it, I should have asked that question to get a free selfie with Orville. Damn it, I knew I should have asked that. Anyway, thank you so much, Orville. We'll see you again real soon, hopefully, okay?
Yes, thank you. You guys have a great night, all right?
Oh,
too.
so great to
Thanks
see
for coming.
you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So up next, Dr. Mohammed Noor, you're sticking around the whole night, right?
No, I actually have to leave in just a minute too. Sorry.
No, you have to hop off as well, right, Dr. Mohammed
Oh.
Noor? Before you go,
Sure.
do you have anything you would like to say to the fans that have missed you so much?
I missed everybody else too. Sorry.
Oh, is there something happening on Sunday on BioTrekkie
There-
Explains?
There is something happening on Sunday on BioTrekkie Explains. We're going to have the series finale of BioTrekkie with the Admiral. Not including the outtakes bloopers. We'll do that like a week later, but that doesn't really count. But yeah, we're going to talk about episodes 9 and 10, specifically the biology in them as well as the production. So that will be on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday on the BioTrekkie YouTube channel. Thank you, Dr.
Oh my
Avery.
gosh, I can't wait. I love those.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss doing those with Jane. She's just amazing. I just loved working with her. So I'll have to come up with some other projects to do with her sometime.
Yes.
And everybody, check out Dr. Muhammad Noor at MAF Noor. That's MAF Noor. Thanks for hanging out with us, Muhammad. It's always good to see you.
Thanks for having me. It's great to see you all. Sorry, I've missed you guys.
Yes.
So good
We have
see you.
to. See you soon, pal.
Bye-bye.
All right.
And I just popped
And
Orville's.
I also have to jump off real quick,
okay.
guys. So thank you all. You two have a great show. And anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I just popped Orville Cummings' Instagram profile in the live chat so that you can say hi and thanks for coming. He's amazing.
What an awesome dude. He's so cool.
So lovely.
And he'll be a great addition to conventions.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, the first
Sorry,
time I
I'm back
saw him
for just a
off camera,
second
was
because
like,
I
this guy needs to convention.
I forgot, Melissa, you have to jump off too.
Oh.
So sorry, everybody. But Anne-Marie, you got this, okay?
Oh my gosh, hilarious. Okay, come back now. We have a lot to talk about.
Okay. All right, enough screwing around, everybody.
Yeah.
Boy, it's time to get serious.
I think if there are any people watching in LA who don't have tickets yet for the Discovery premiere tomorrow, that's going to be star-studded, there's some still available, right?
Yes, that's a good point. Let me pull that up real quick. There are still just a very few left, but if you are in the LA area or plan to be tomorrow, you got a little bit of time to get there.
I was given clearance to say a couple things about it by John Orchiola. Okay, let me read it specifically what he said I can say.
I'm putting the link in the live chat, everybody, for the Discovery finale screening with a lot of stars. It's star-studded. What do you got for us, Anne-Marie?
Okay, so John Orchiola said, I asked him what is okay to say. He was probably not about like what I asked if I could say, and he said, you can say you heard from me that the finale sounds like a way bigger deal than just a fan screening with, but I can't say any specifics. And then
isn't Sonequa going to be there? Didn't they say that in the post?
I'm not sure, but like he started hearing from other people he's been interviewing that they're all going to be there. And then one other thing that I can say is that Doug Jones told him there's a part where he's hoping everyone cheers for Saru and Tarina.
Oh,
which I'm like, duh, of course there's gonna be.
For somebody that has seen the episode already, you guys, he's talking with the scene that he's talking about. Everybody, put the kids to bed for this scene.
Really?
Trust me, you will cheer. Yes, you will definitely fan, but put anybody under 36 to bed because it's borderline raunchy.
Oh man, that means I have to close my eyes during that part.
Oh my god, I want to get to see Saru without a shirt.
It's the sexiest thing. We've already seen Saru without his shirt.
Have we?
Yep. In season 2, I think it was.
Wait, was this fan
on the
fiction?
medical bed.
Oh, okay.
No, we did see him with the shirt on.
It is a very hot and heavy scene, everybody. So definitely look forward to that and get your pause button ready. Anyway.
Well, so his birthday picture was only a taste.
Yeah.
Oh
my god. I just wish I was in LA so I could go. It sounds amazing. Plus to like be with everyone to watch the finale to the first show that like brought everything back. And they always have swag. Oh, it sounds amazing.
Did somebody say Doug Jones' birthday pic? Here it is.
I want a coffee table book of all the years of his birthday.
I know. That's a great idea.
I hope I'm still fine when I'm 64.
Same.
When I'm 64, right?
So cute.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the news, everybody. Unless, Anne-Marie, there was more to this story.
No, I'm just like, I need to get my head in the game. I'm so like, whoa, we got to meet Lieutenant Christopher. This was amazing. And he talked about my other favorite show, Murdoch Mysteries. Love him. I just love seeing people do what they
great.
love doing. It makes me
Yeah.
so happy.
Here's a fun piece of information. Everybody at home, right now, what is the longest running Star Trek series? No peeking, no cheating,
I already
no
cheated
tweaking.
and peeked.
Sounds like my neighbor.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh,
so everybody in the live chat, remember the question is, what is the longest running Star Trek series in the history of Star Trekdom? Rashid says it's TNG. J.R. Poole says it's Disco. Lucia out in Brazil says Discovery. Kale Bliss says Voyager. Joshua Reeves says Discovery. Glenn Iverson says, it depends on how you define longest running. DJ Kitty Cat says TNG, I guess. Allison Leach Hyde says DS9. What's the answer, Doctor?
So, as I suspected would happen this season, it is Discovery in terms of calendar years. And when everybody was going crazy, like, it's a failure, it's canceled after 5 seasons, I'm like, it's been on actually like years. So, Trek Ranks podcast were very fun. They said this week, Star Trek Discovery becomes the longest running Star Trek series ever, surpassing TNG. Good guess, Rashid. Run of 2,429 days from 1987 to 1994. Discovery will end its 7-year run this Thursday, 11 days longer and 111 episodes fewer than TNG. An amazing stat, which I agree. I love statistics. And then they broke it down further, like every single series.
So I got 2 takeaways from that. The first is, man, they sure make less episodes than they used to. But we all know about that, Grandpa. No need to deal with that right now. But more so what we've talked about in the past, and Anne-Marie, you were the first to bring this up months ago, I believe, which is that this show has been in our lives for the longest amount of time. It hasn't had all of the same amount of episodes as the others, but the fact that it has had a place in our lives, in our homes, on our desktops, tweeting out, the new episodes. Of course, there wasn't Twitter during TNG, but if there were, people would be tweeting about those episodes. Yeah.
There was
Weird.
MS-DOS.
Oh, no. So anyway, and it's really important to note that this show has been in our lives longer than any other Star Trek series as far as producing new content. And it will break the record by a total of 11 days. Wow, that's close. That's minuscule.
I also feel like their lead time to actually drop their first episode, it just felt longer at least. And it certainly was like longer in terms of amount we were hearing about it in like the news and online and tweets leading up to it. And the cast was at STLV before it even had started. Like all of that makes it seem even longer. Just getting
now,
really nostalgic.
our friend the Matt Boardman in the live chat says that he loves Star Trek Discovery. So thanks for that, the Matt Boardman. Good comment there. What do you think, Melissa? I know you've got thoughts on it. I know you've got thoughts on it. Tell us the good ones, the nice ones.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good and nice ones. Yes, it should be noted that it is the launching ground for new Trek, and without it, who knows where we would be. So, yeah, and and it's had a lot to contend with over the past 7 years. I mean, COVID was not a small thing, and learning how to navigate those waters was difficult too. So, yeah,
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
That's a Discovery joke for Lucia. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's nice, and
What's kind of fun is seeing like TNG compared to DS9 and Voyager, because Deep Space Nine and Voyager started Deep Space Nine started in January. Like it's fun seeing like, whoa, they got all the same amount of episodes done in like this many months less. Like, wow, they really had a well-oiled machine back then.
Well, those sets
Great
were
research.
well-oiled machines. I mean, if you take a show like the old legacy shows or something that has been running a long time and does as many episodes a season, still I believe in something like SVU, they working on that set, I've worked on that set, and you can, I don't know, there's something about being in the midst of a production team and seeing how well they work together, and you can understand the success of a certain show because of that team effort.
That's a good point. Here's a little bit more of that breakdown from Trek Ranks. Check it out on twitter.com @TrekRanks. It reads, the longest running series in Star Trek history in days. Discovery, 2,440 days. TNG, 2,429 days. Boy, what a close one. DS9, 2,341 days. And Voyager, come on, Voyager, get it together. Only 2,319 days. Come on. But that one's interesting because
those two started in January.
Right. Deep Space Nine and Voyager, they look like they were only 6 years.
But what's interesting is TNG and Deep Space Nine are only like 3 episodes apart, but like have significant like less days.
Yeah.
Well, because DS9 started after the Christmas break and TNG started after summer break.
God, now I'm getting like confused, but then that should be like way more days apart, right? September to January is more than, or is it 80 days? I don't know. You know what? I'll get a pencil and pen and paper later.
Unless they're not counting.
Think about this.
Well,
honestly, I would count from like the first day of production, but obviously it's a runtime. Maybe that's right.
It's because Deep Space Nine season 1 only
October,
had 19
November, December.
episodes.
Yeah.
So it just had a shorter, hey, it's I'll tell you what's next on our list here.
Okay. I'm just
Here's something important.
All of this Discovery nostalgia.
Everybody in the live chat, let us know if you understand what Anne-Marie was trying to say. I think I do, but I
just expected the numbers to be different for a show that started in September versus one that started in January. Right. Then I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? The end of September to the beginning of January isn't that much of a difference, even though it always seems like a much longer block of time. I'm sure the numbers do make sense.
But I see what you mean about if Deep Space Nine had an extra summer break included in the amount of time they were running, that's like an extra 3 months. And TNG started after a summer break, so it seems like they would be shorter.
I don't know.
Man, life is weird.
But the winter break is shorter.
No. It looked like 80 something days, which probably is, if I looked at a calendar, might be the difference in time. Very fascinating. Oh my God, watch our views plummet.
Impossible. Couldn't go any lower. So
it's okay. Lucia says she never understands what I'm saying.
She does say that. I wouldn't say never, but for me, it's sometimes. So this is trekmovie.com. Star Trek Discovery continues climbing the streaming top 10 chart. What?
I'm not sure if you guys talked about this Friday, but
No,
basically
we did
like
not.
every week,
Yeah.
like it's creeping up like a space every week. So what I'm very excited to see is what the finale, how like finale moves the needle.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's this article tell us, Doctor? Unless you'd like me to read it.
We don't have to read it, but just when you look at the placement, I think it's up to number 8 now. So it 2 weeks ago, it made the list at 10, then 9, then 8. But interestingly, they say like they're trying to say it's like a specific episode that's there, whereas I thought you just look at the numbers of the episode, not like the specific episode. So I have to say I'm a bit confused about it now.
Mm. Yeah, well, and it was saying something about it not ever being included in the reports before because it wasn't submitted or something
Oh,
along those lines.
Oh,
Where
well, Discovery never was before because the
Right.
Nielsen for internet streaming
Right.
ranks like started after the last season of Discovery.
Yeah.
that is peculiar.
It's
Well-
really interesting since the strike, like so many, they're changing how statistics are reported. Like, for example, Netflix just officially announced like its numbers breakdown for the first time ever, and they gave like a 6-month window of them. But like, so for example, I think Prodigy's rated like 2,500th place or something with 600,000 hour views. But that's actually good because it only had dropped like 6 days before that window closed, that 6-month window closed. And then also none of the episodes were brand new. So
Right.
actually the argument is that's really good for a show in that with those circumstances. But it's interesting to see as you like read a bunch of articles like breaking all of this data down. Because like the bottom line is it's hard to break it down because we've never had it before. So
Right.
it's actually kind of fun. And I'm really looking forward to like having multiple data sets you can like start seeing trends.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting to see how the strikes have affected those changes and seeing those changes being implemented into current streaming and television watching and movies.
And I mean, there's also like the negative side of this, which is like it's sort of like in a court case where one side demands that the other side release their information. So then,
Mhm.
like, as an FU, they give every single piece of paper they've ever received. So some people
Yeah.
are saying like that's what this is, where they like, okay, you wanted data, I'm gonna like bury you in numbers, have fun, like knock yourselves out waiting through thousands of shows statistics. So it'll
But
be
then there are going to be
interesting
some
over time.
nerds that salivate over that. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you for my Saturday night.
Yes, I'm super
Absolutely.
into those ones. Exactly. They're the interns.
Here's an interesting thing. I'm a little confused by this. In this article, it says Sonic the Hedgehog miniseries Knuckles is number 6.
Mhm.
So Star Trek Discovery is number 8. Sonic the Hedgehog Knuckles is number 6.
Kids like their Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's like
Parents need to
hedgehogs.
parents
You
need to
know?
tighten up those parental controls, man.
And
What's
when
going
a
on?
kid likes something, they watch it over and over and over and over again.
What's Knuckles' first name? I won't guess.
I mean, there are a couple of really interesting things. For example, Bridgerton is number 9 and Discovery is number 8. That's amazing. Like Bridgerton's
That
such a
is.
phenomenon. And
Yeah.
Dead Boy Detectives is 3, which I do hear everybody talking about.
Boy
then
Detective?
Dead
Dead Boy Detectives, like super buzzy right now. And then number 4 is Shogun, which actually has some of the same directors as Paramount Star Trek, which is cool.
Yeah. Strange New Worlds made it to the top 10 quite a few times too.
Yes.
So hopefully
Yeah.
Discovery gets a little more love as well. It's for the 3rd week in a row,
Mhm.
reads.
Yeah.
So that's really good. That's episodes 4, 5, and 6, it looks like. Okay, wow. So they can do Strange New Worlds was like 8 out of 10, I think.
Yeah.
So Discovery can do something comparable to that if they keep Let's flying, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's really buzzy right now. Every time I go out, if you're wearing something Star Trek, people are like, "Oh, are you watching Discovery?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Another thing to consider with shows like Prodigy is this is measured in minutes viewed. And if Prodigy is only 25 minutes, then they have to watch twice as many episodes to get there. So it's something to consider, that the half-hour shows also basically are chopped in half as far as how their statistics. Yeah. How their statistics pan out. So top 10, number 1 is Fallout. Number 2 is Baby Reindeer.
Oh my God, the most terrifying show I've seen in years.
It's scary?
It's really good. It's about a stalking situation, but really beautifully done. It's
My
based on real life.
friend works at Home Depot and he stalks all day.
Oh yes, it's about him.
He says they even have like a little AI robot that stalks things, and he says that the robot kind of seems timid. Like if he had to give it a personality, it's timid.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I would have recommended it for watch though first if you guys weren't on hiatus. And it's based on a
Baby
real story,
Reindeer.
and it's actually influenced the laws now about stalking in the UK. I told you about this.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It's really moving.
Why'd you tell me about this? You're like, it's influenced the laws about stalking. I told you about this, Ryan. Hey, I don't know anything about this show. Number 3 is Dead Boy Detectives, another weird. What's Baby Dead Boy?
I want to say
Number
it's like
4 is
Marvel.
Shogun.
That
Number 5 is The Circle. Number 6 is Knuckles. 7 is Unlocked, a jail experiment. 8 is Star Trek Discovery. 9 is Bridgerton. 10 is Them, the Scare. All right, here's a bit of trivia. Everybody knows about A Perfect Circle, the band. It's kind of like a side project of Tool's Maynard. But who in the live chat can name a band that starts with the words The Circle? I'll give you a hint. It's from like the 60s or 70s rock band. The Circle blank.
of life.
No, that's 2 blanks. The Circle blank. Anyway, so that's episodes 4, 5, and 6. I'm hoping and theorizing that they make it to the top 10 in all of them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, considering I've only heard of 3 of those, I've only heard of Bridgerton, Discovery, and Fallout, which I have to say is a very interesting show. It's got a really cool kind of concept that's not really been done before. So yeah, although it's bloody. So if you don't like gore.
The live chat is touching on what the answer is to The Circle. Glenn Iverson says the first word that came to mind could get me censored. Exactly. That is the word of this band. And Bob D says jerk. So I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a band called the Circle Jerks.
Gosh. So like going back to the rankings, I also think what works in that favor.
Why do you want to go back to the rankings? I thought we were talking about Circle Jerks.
It's like sort of a slow time of TV right now, it seems like. So hopefully that works in its favor.
Let's look them up.
Circle Jerks.
Yeah. Hey, don't get us in trouble.
Why is that? Why would they get us in jerkles? It reminds me of Soda Jerks. And that wasn't a bad thing. Soda Jerks, Circle Jerk, I don't know.
Wow!
Oh.
Wow! Wow!
Oh, so they're punk. Oh,
You're
you're on
muted.
mute.
I said, with a name like that, aren't you surprised to know that they're punk? Okay.
No,
Anyway.
I'm not.
I bet you Ira Stephen Bear knows them. That guy knows his punk music. All right. So let's move on from that probably ill-advised topic.
Well, yeah, now I have a completely different picture in my head, but we won't talk about that.
Okay.
Hmm.
So up next is our friend, your friend and mine. His name is JJ Lendl.
Oh, with a new baby at
Yay!
home, who's so cute.
So
He
cute.
says, here are my 9 retro episode posters for the final season of Star Trek Discovery, including the poster for last week's penultimate episode, Lagrange Point. The series finale premieres on Thursday, so expect my 10th and final poster later this week. Question: anyone interested in me making these available as prints for a limited window following the finale? I'm not going to read all those hashtags, but I am going to react.
Okay.
Yes.
I have some real favorites. I mean, they're all always so brilliant, but Lagrange Point is brilliant. The way it's like the infinity sign plus those 2 circles like in balance, plus the 2 ships on both sides.
Both of these circles are rude, though.
I
They're jerks.
love this.
It's
Yeah,
so
I love
brilliant.
this. Yeah, it's stunning.
Like
Mm-hmm.
he's just a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that the truth? Ooh, labyrinths. Look at that's a fun.
Gorgeous.
Wow, look how smart that is.
So gorgeous.
It is.
And it's in her mind, you see.
Yes. If I was any person who's on any of these posters, I would like have such a huge one done and framed and like on my wall immediately. They're so beautiful.
There we go.
Ah, look at the Breen silhouette.
Love
It's
these.
great. But I love his use of color.
Always. Yeah, that's the
It's
best.
so wonderful.
Remember when Tilly ran farther than anybody and then that girl spilled her drink and then Tilly shared it
Oh
with
my
her? That
Yeah.
was-
So nice.
and this guy was like, I don't know, it's not, I disagree. I don't
That's
know.
not in
Amazing
the rules.
retelling.
It's an amazing retelling. And then she was like, well, I don't know, Father, because I think I just
I feel like this could be a video retelling on YouTube.
and then he was like, harumph, and then she's like, but if you guys would just listen to me, and she's like, I can do it, I can run forever, and he's like, oh, you can't run, nobody. Anyway, that's how the show. It's check it out if you haven't seen it.
I would watch a show.
Oh, I forgot there's more of these. Here we go. I got so caught up in my theater performance. That's
God, these
fun.
are so
Mirrors.
good. I
Brilliant.
think number 4 is my
Mhm.
favorite.
And then,
This
whoa,
one
great
is
color.
so
Look at that.
brilliant. And it's
So
the
good.
2 different Michael Burnhams from like 2 different time periods.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And look, it's also the color that she wears. She wears red, and then
Mhm.
disco
Yes.
back then they wore this grayish blue.
Yeah.
It's genius.
This is too smart for
and
me. I can't.
Stamets wears blue and he's there in the blue, and then Raynor wears
Yep.
red and he's there in the red.
I can't.
So good.
Like
You
I
guys, this
seriously,
isn't
when he
fair.
posted these, I was like, ooh, I get to like figure out the meaning. Like it's so fun.
It's not fair that there are people that are so much smarter than us.
Oh
or
my
me.
God. And also that he's not hired to make these official. They're
For
just
real.
gorgeous, brilliant works of art.
That's pretty great too. With the
Janelle.
trill spots down the
Yeah.
side. That's pretty great.
Well, if you've seen one, you've seen Janelle. So it's something to be aware of. Under the twin moons.
But we
Under
got action,
Which are also
Saru.
the eyes
Yeah.
of that statue and like those
Mhm.
things that jump out. Like it's amazing.
These colors are beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah.
JJ knows how much we kiss his butt when he's not on the show. If
Oh
he
my
just,
God.
maybe he thinks that we only do it when he's on the show. He doesn't realize how in love
Yeah.
we are with him.
Yes.
Look at how cool that is. That's so cool. With the little, I don't know, motorcycle thingies
Yeah.
and
The speeders.
yeah.
Gorgeous.
That's so cool.
I like to imagine that these are just short people and their feet are just hanging off the side. They're like, this thing's going way too fast. They're just barely hanging on for dear life, you know? They're like,
Oh,
whoa, my
cute.
feet.
They're saying,
can't hang on.
woohoo!
I can barely hang on. All right. Great stuff. Everybody make sure you are following JJ Lendl. That's Lendl. No second E anywhere. Very
Mhm.
important.
Oh God.
And then I just looked at my shirt and was like, that looks like JJ Lindell's work too. I wonder
Yes,
why.
it is. Also on twitter.com, this is interesting. Oh yeah, look at this. So check this out. On twitter.com, this has been tweeted out by The Trek Central.
Oh,
That's at The Trek Central. Disco finale preview screening and Q&A. David Ajala at MC Comic Con.
MCM Comic Con is the London Comic Con. And it was
Oh,
just
okay.
like, I thought we should show a picture because it's so cool that like, I don't really have a sense of how big and the difference between the different Europe Comic Cons. And it's cool. They clearly like had a massive panel because look at that gorgeous backdrop.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Wow.
beautiful.
That is impressive. Joined by Sonequa Martin Green, showrunner Michelle Paradise, and director Ola. Wait, there's supposed to be an A there, isn't there? Olatunde Osunsanmi.
So cool.
Oh yeah, there it is. So that was this past weekend in London, is that right?
Yeah, it's like people from Trek Central were there because I think they're from the UK. And then, like I said before, Rashid was there. So he was posting a bunch of really cool pictures. And David Ajala is so great with fans. He did like a big group selfie with a bunch of fans in cosplay. He did like, he did a shout out to Rashid's kids when Rashid was getting something signed.
That's
like,
so
and he
cute.
like remembers, he's like a, you know, like Robert Beltran and a few others. They like remember who they interact with on Twitter in real life. And then it was so cool that I saw David Ajala like pop into Anson Mount's comments from Rashid to say, Rashid, if you're in Canada, let's hang out. Like,
That's so
that's
great.
so lovely.
Yeah.
Like, what a cool guy. Wait, you're muted.
Mark
You're still
Zetkoff
muted.
said,
I'm still muted?
said, not anymore.
Yeah,
Mark
I was going to say, speaking of Robert Beltran, he also knew Rashid.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Does everybody just know Rashid?
Rashid is like a huge Twitter following of being like the lovely, most pleasant person on Twitter. He's so
Good
nice.
for him.
Some days I get like such nice messages from him, and I'm like, thank you. He's so lovely.
He is
Anyway, I'm sorry, Melissa, that I
That's
jumped
okay.
on you because I was muted forever and couldn't unmute my own self.
It's okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say, Mark Zetkoff says spelling is for the weak.
It's true.
Maybe.
All right, but this is also very
I just thought it was
important.
funny.
So everybody check this out. This is from cinemablend.com, written by Mick Jost, friend of the show, Mick Jost, everybody. And it reads, Star Trek's Jonathan Frakes praises Sonequa Martin Green and explains why he's thankful he didn't know about Discovery's cancellation while directing penultimate episode.
Like this one, the title kind of says it all. I just thought it was a really cool thing to think about. Like, first of all, wow, even he didn't know. Like Jonathan Frakes knows everything, but he just said in the article, like, if he had known, it would have been such a tearful goodbye because, like, from day one, he's been such an avid Discovery champion and, like, doing tons of interviews about how the cast is so close and, like, how much he loves directing and, like, this cast in particular. And so he said, like, he would have been a lot more cheerful at the end, because he'll obviously see Sonequa like at conventions and in future work, probably, he said, but he might not see Michael Burnham again, which I was like, oh, what a beautiful way to put it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And then we have a really great John Orchiola screen rant, Jonathan Frakes tidbit also, because obviously what happens is different actors and directors and writers do the circuit with interviews, and it's cool to see like what they tell different interviewers. And I forgot to mention last week, apparently Jonathan Frakes at the end of this interview said, "Wow, you're really good at this," to John Orchiola. And I'm like, whoa. Every time I see you, I'm going to be like, John, wow, you're really good at this, Orchiola.
Hey, how come Orville didn't say that to us?
Oh,
you know,
I think
like,
he was too excited to be here.
Yeah.
too excited for the
that makes
respected
sense.
chat pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think he had fun. It looks like he had fun. It could
He's
be
so
wrong,
cool.
but yeah.
So here's the article Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel mentioned. Jonathan Frakes was, quote, really surprised Star Trek Discovery Season 5 is based on his TNG episode.
Okay,
What?
I did not clock this. This is amazing. Like, how freaking cool to direct an episode and then like 30 whatever years later come back and be like, oh, what episode did I get to direct? What? It's based on the one I directed already? Like,
Wow.
that's mind-blowing.
I did not realize he had directed The Chase.
So he has like a cool, if you scroll down a little bit, he has a cool quote.
He says, I was really surprised because I don't remember The Chase being that significant in the oeuvre of Next Gen. And why that? Don't make me say words like oeuvre.
That's why I like to read it.
Come on. That's a French word, and it's not something that should be said.
I thought it was ooh.
Maybe.
Oeuvre?
Ooh,
I don't know.
In French, it's oeuvre.
I'm sure you're
Oeuvre.
right.
But in English, oh yeah, Americans call it the Louvre. They don't even pronounce the R.
I think that's because of the British.
Anyway,
we got their pronunciation.
he continues, and it's kind of like when I was a kid. I remember they made me read some book in history class. You know, when they would go around and everybody has to read a paragraph. So we came up to the word Charlemagne, the name Charlemagne, read in history, right? Now I look at I'd never heard this word before, but I look at this word and I can recognize immediately. I'm like, that looks like a French word. So I said it French. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm saying the word. And then I heard other people calling it Charlemagne. I'm like, oh, that's how you guys pronounce this French word that doesn't sound anything like Charlemagne? Okay. Anyway.
Cute.
So he continues. And then when Michelle explained how that was going to be the kickoff and the premise of the show, you know, I got The Chase only by the luck of the draw. That's how the cards played. On Next Gen, you got your episodes dealt to you by some random pulling of straws. But on Discovery, and also even more significantly on Strange New Worlds, they assign you an episode that they believe you would be suited to direct. So it was just happenstance that The Chase happened to be one that I had directed.
That's cool.
Oh, interesting.
It's like a full circle moment.
I love that
Circle
so much.
what?
Jerk. Circle of life.
Okay, but does everybody know the song Chase, speaking of which, by Giorgio Moroder? It's
We're
called
gonna find out.
Chase. When you hear this song, you'll be like, oh, I do know this song. I do know this song, Chase. It's from 1978, and it goes a little something like this.
Good year.
No? Oh, man. are missing. Really? Whatever. Anyway, it's like one of the greatest songs in the history of music. It's basically like the first techno song. Come on, you could listen to that the whole way through. I mean, anyway, it's called Chase by Giorgio Moroder.
It makes me want to strap on a pair of roller skates. That's what it makes me want to do. And go, woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. And maybe, woohoo, woohoo. Oh, yeah.
What does it make you want to do, Anne-Marie?
Nothing.
Yeah, just hang out, listen to it, and chill.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Anyway, I know there are a lot of people in the live chat that do know that song. There's no way. Everybody loves it. In fact, it is so good that I'm gonna put the link in the live chat for everybody to enjoy a little later.
Oh, wow.
Not right now.
They're actually sponsoring the show.
It's actually the opposite. I think I just got demonetized because it's the opposite of fun. But it was worth it. It's a great song. Go check it out.
But we already did that with the circle jerk, so you know.
But I only did it for a few seconds. I don't know. YouTube hates us. They demonetize every little thing we do. Anyway, love you, YouTube. Just kidding. All right. So up next, we've got another TrekMovie.com article. This one is pretty interesting, okay? Because it's a preview of the final episode of Star Trek Discovery. Everybody in the live chat, let us know, are you feeling sad yet? Are you sad that it's ending? Has it not hit you yet? Are you okay with it? Have you come to grips with it? What's the situation? How are you feeling? Are you melancholy? What's the thing? Oh, that's still playing. There we go. It is such a good song, though.
What? You need to be in Tron and on some lighted up motorcycles that are futuresque and going through, I don't know.
Oh my God, can you imagine watching Discovery with the sound turned off and with that song playing? That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
When they're riding on their speeders and stuff. Okay, so here's preview Star Trek Discovery season and series finale with new images, trailer, and a clip from life itself. The interesting thing is there are only 2 images released this week.
That's crazy.
That's it. You got a picture of Sonequa in what would you call that? Auburn kind of background.
Bert Sienna?
Like a sunset. I don't know.
And then you've got Doug and Nan, 2 of my favorite characters ever, in bluey stuff everywhere.
Oh, I love Nan's hair. So good.
But the question is, why are there only 2?
Everybody's saying that, especially because a lot of weeks they'll put out 10 pictures that are all basically the same picture. And then the other crazy thing is they never release any information except for some reason this season when Nan's in an episode, they include a picture of her in it. Even though it would actually be a surprise to see her in any episode. So interesting. Oh, I love her.
Mm-hmm.
When you say interesting, Dr. Anne-Marie, you say, why would they do such a thing? I can't believe they would do this when there's this and there's that. It's very interesting.
That's what I mean.
It's okay. I'm gonna have to pay more attention when you say something's interesting.
Yeah.
If I say something interesting, if you go, that's interesting, I think I know what you'll be insinuating there.
Maybe.
Okay, so we've got a Screen Rant article here. It says Star Trek Discovery's David Ajala still wants to tell Burnham and Book's lost story. What's their lost story?
It's when they were traveling, like when they were hanging out together on his ship with Grudge before they ran into Discovery in the future.
And they were both couriers.
Yeah, like kind of like just it's just nice to hear like he's still wanting to tell book stories. And probably he'd be interested in being in the academy and like that leaves room for like physical, like literary books. So kind of fun.
But
Plus, I just wanted to highlight like John Arcane was talking to everybody this week.
Yeah.
What a busy guy.
Yeah. But I like David Ajala's idea of exploring that time in a in maybe like a movie streaming for movie type way. They could still explore that time together with Book and Burnham.
Or a short track.
That too. Yeah. Short
flashback.
Yeah.
Has anybody watched all of the short treks at home? There's still time to watch all of the short treks. There are 10 episodes,
so good.
Okay, so check this out, everybody.
And there's still one short trek that hasn't like been tied up, which people occasionally bring up, like Calypso.
Calypso Cooler. I still haven't seen 2
I can't
short
even
treks.
believe you did. Especially because Children of Mars was the preface for Picard. I can't believe you didn't want the complete Picard viewing experience.
What was the other one that I haven't seen? It was the last one.
That was Children of Mars.
Then it was the second to last one. It's the other one.
Which one was that?
Oh, Ephraim and Dot was the other one I didn't see.
Which was so fun. And
was it like Wally?
Yeah, that's what I tell myself Wally is because I didn't see Wally. It's really cute.
Wally is very good. You should watch Wally.
Either.
The music
and it's becoming more and
fun.
more relevant every day.
Interesting.
Anybody in the live chat that's seen Wally, how relevant do you think it is to the world we now currently live in? Do you think it's like, that's just silly kids cartoon? Or are you like, dude, bro, we're moving into Wally land? Bro. Okay. So this is from a website called facebook.com. And it's from Anson Mount, everybody's good friend, Anson Mount. He says, Bono once said that the world needs more Canada in it. And that one dude, forgot his name, said the world is a vampire. So why can't I remember his name? Anyway. Having worked here many years, and having married an Albertan girl, I certainly agree. Thanks once again, Canada, for your tremendous hospitality. We'll see you again. Billy Corgan. Isn't that his name? Billy Corgan. We'll see. I don't know why that popped in my head while I'm reading. We'll see you again in the spring when Star Trek Strange New Worlds goes back into production for season 4 next week. No, probably next year.
It's just good to know when they're going to be back there so we can all like watch their calendars and stalk them from a distance.
You look like my friend. See, Melissa knew the song. Right? From a distance, you look like my friend. Even though we are at war.
There's harmony.
Yeah. All right. God, there's so much news. There's so much stuff going on. And we still have a little bit of time left. So let's hammer out a little bit more. Did somebody say hammer?
Yes.
Because I say hammer.
Oh, wait. That's
that's
so I know
not any of these.
So we've already talked about like Bruce Horak, and he's doing these amazing like individually painted, made to order hammer paintings on his Patreon. But what's really fun, in addition to how cute they are, is that every time he tweets about it or like does a post about it, he has like really fun hammer puns, which I just love how much he's really like embracing the hammerness. So this one, he hashtags memorabilia.
Very nice.
He's so cute. And then he always says, "Gorn but not forgotten," which is
Aw.
adorable. I love him.
I want to see the rest of that picture that's on his wall.
Yeah. Oh,
So good.
those were so funny. I laughed so hard it gave me hemorrhoids.
Oh my gosh.
It's because I laughed real isn't that how that I don't know. Anyway, shout out to Bruce Horak at Bruce Horak, amazing artist, great guy, friend of the show. We love that guy. And we
On
love Hemmer.
Patreon. Yeah.
All right. Oh boy, we got a troublemaker here. Everybody, if you go on twitter.com and you follow somebody named at Good Aaron, it's a misnomer. It's a misnomer. He's a troublemaker.
Okay,
He says,
so,
go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna preface this by like mentioning that over the weekend, Saturday was deemed like Lower Decks watch party day, and everybody was supposed to watch Lower Decks like all 24 hours. And Larry did a live stream with like Aaron Harvey and a couple other people trying to get the numbers up for Lower Decks so that Paramount takes note and renews it. Then Sunday, which I didn't realize until Sunday was already like going on, they had like a Star Trek Prodigy day long event. So people were tweeting out all this stuff about Star Trek Prodigy, and like Aaron Wiltke and Bonnie were getting in on the fun on Twitter. And there were some fun things that got brought up about like where the designs for Janeway came from and where the designs for Chakotay came from. And Aaron Wiltke is always so thoughtful and fun answering questions.
So he says, we knew that by the 25th century, which was not far away, Janeway would likely have completely white hair if her endgame alt-future counterpart was any indication. So we aimed for a look somewhere between these two in the mid-2380s.
It's so thoughtful.
And Chris says, you mean it's not just there to match one in Chakotay's hair?
Oh, because they were talking about the gray streak thing.
And he says, Aaron replies, we got a glimpse of what 2380's Chakotay looks like in Voyager's Timeless and did our best to honor that. Man, these guys dig deep.
They're so good.
I love the idea that they're going and getting matching hair dye jobs. Like they have the same stylist.
These guys go deep. No stone is left unturned.
Fun.
Whoa, wait a minute. Happy anniversary, everybody. Happy anniversary to the most, okay, can we just say it?
I love this episode.
The most risque title Star Trek has ever had. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
Is this the most risque title Star Trek has ever had?
Yes.
I can't think of. Maybe
risque and brilliant.
Maybe Mud's Women? I don't know. Is that risque sounding?
It's not that risque.
No. What about? No. Wait. What about? No.
Resolutions.
Ooh. What about Meridian?
Janeway Chakotay.
Menage a Troy. May 28th, 1990, exactly 24 years ago. On this day, the Star Trek The Next Generation episode Menage a Troy, co-written by Susan Sackett, who had been Gene Roddenberry's executive assistant back in the day. Guest stars included Majel Barrett Roddenberry as Loxana Troy and Ethan Phillips as future Neelix. I mean, as Dr. Ferrick. He played future Neelix, where he turned into a Ferengi. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Then what's also really fun is then there was a follow-up tweet to that from the episode co-writer Fred Bronson, who we need to have on Virtual TrekCon soon. He's so cool, and he wasn't able to be on the review because he was in Europe when you guys recorded, but he like loves the episode, and I believe he's even the person who came up with this brilliant title as he was like driving home from the office one day.
Ooh.
Typical man. So yeah, you're right. He tweets right below it. He says, her co-writer thanks you for this.
And then Trek Movie responded, because Trek Movie is so cool. And like, on their shit.
I don't
think
see
it's
Trek
actually,
movie.
I sent you a tweet to the separate tweet, but
No, look, it's not there.
no, it like got done
Let's
weirdly
see.
because Trek movie then made its own tweet because they found a picture of him as they found a picture of Fred Bronson as an extra in the motion picture, and then they published it. It's because it's a separate tweet.
Oh, okay.
Because then they did a really good tweet, so they didn't want it to just be a response.
Oh, okay.
or
This is
something.
getting confusing.
Oh, you know what they did? They quote tweeted him.
Oh, man. Okay, well, anyway, tell us what it is.
Okay. I
Oh,
sent
wait,
you the
is
link
it
to it
here?
right
Okay.
underneath. It just showed up weird.
Okay, here it is, everybody. This
This is
is
like my favorite thing in the world, which is identifying Star Trek behind the scenes people, players in the motion pictures, big crowd scenes. Like somebody just found like a CUDA
TrekMovie.com.
and did an action figure of him in this.
TrekMovie.com replies, ha, yes, the other co-writer for today's On This Day, Menage a Troy, is Fred Bronson, friends with co-writer Susan Sackett. He also wrote an episode of TAS and had a background role in TMP, and it is quote tweeted right here.
Yeah.
There
He's
he
so
is.
fun. I love Trek movie identifying people like that. It's so great.
Yeah, well, I just wish this was relevant to us in some way. Wait
So
a
the
second.
reason I brought this up is because my favorite thing in the world has happened, which is that the seventh rule is basically now lined up with the calendar for like anniversaries of episodes coming out, matching the time the seventh rule review release
Magic.
comes out. I love that.
Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart?
Now I do.
So, yes, everybody, let's talk about the week ahead. First and foremost, yesterday on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we released our full review of Captain's Holiday with writer Chip Chalmers on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. Go check it out. We have a great time with Chip Chalmers, and we have a fun conversation with him. Great episode, great review. Check it out. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow already? No, 2 days from now. Man, feels like tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
2 days from now,
premiere.
on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we have our full review of the Star Trek Discovery finale. We also had a little. I'm kind of messed up on the trivioids at the beginning on that one, so look forward to that. And anyway, that's a little cryptic. The point is, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. Check it out. Discovery finale review should be a great time. Then on Friday, come right back to this channel, the Virtual TrekCon channel, because we're going to have a lot of fun on Star Trek and Chill live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time with this crazy cast of characters and a few others and friends. Okay. Then on Sunday, finally, it's here. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. Menage a Troy.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's it. Next Generation has finally aligned with the Seventh Rule, as Anne-Marie said. So you got to buy a lottery ticket, pick up your Ouija board. There's weird, Pluto is in retrograde. I don't know. And so be sure that you enjoy that celestial moment.
Get your 8 balls out.
And then did somebody also say it was the anniversary of the Apple? Because at 12 p.m. Pacific on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we have our full review of Star Trek, the original series episode, Season 2, Episode 5, The Apple, with, of course, superstar Walter Koenig. He's no longer joining the Seventh Rule. He's taking it over. It's freakish. It's a nightmare, but he's there.
Adorable.
And he's talking about the
And he's in
Apple.
that episode so much too. Like, I can't even wait. He's gonna have so much to say.
So that's 12 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry, 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Remember, it's every Sunday, first Sunday of every month, I should say. First Sunday of every month, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. The Apple this week. Check it out. All right. That's more times than I've said the Apple in my whole life.
So
Melissa.
excited. Oh, and really fast though, Mohammed's BioTrekkie Explains is actually right before that. So that's at 1 p.m. Eastern on the BioTrekkie Explains channel. And if you follow MAFNOOR, Dr. Mafnoor will be tweeting about it too.
Beautiful.
Okay, sorry.
No, not at all. We love that dude. It's so sad that his BioTrekkie with the Admiral is ending. I think it'll come back.
They need a
We need to start a petition.
Academy. They should do Academy. Obviously. Oh, they're
Start
such
a
a cute
petition.
duo. It feels like you're in a fun hang when you watch.
Did somebody say duos? Yum.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh no, I know what interesting means. Okay. It means she thinks it was dumb. All right, Melissa Longo, will you please tell everybody
If my code
where
has
they can
been
find
broken.
you and that cool shirt online?
You can find this cool shirt online at StarTrekandChill.com. Star Trek and Chill. Well, Star Trek and Chill.
Click the link in the description box below for the Star Trek and
that
Chill online store.
too.
Thanks, Melissa.
That too. And then you can find me at Melissa Longo, Malissa, on social media, and Walking Art Made by Melissa on Patreon, and walkingartmadeby.melissa.com, and 3 Fat Lobsters.
Anne Marie in the live chat says,
you
bring your own fake Tanner for the Apple review. That's funny. We should have done that. We should have put on fake Tanner. Like DJ, Stephanie, Danny.
Yeah, but that could get problematic nowadays. Or well, I guess it's fake Tanner, but still.
What about you, Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel? Where can everybody find you online?
Not turning myself orange. I am on Twitter at AnneMarieSiegel1.
Yes. Everybody, you can find me online or at the fake tanning bed on twitter.com at RyanTGHusk. Once again, that's at RyanTGHusk. I know what you're all thinking. You guys were like, good, you need it. I do. I probably do. I should get more sun. At RyanTGHusk, or just Virtual TrekCon, Falling Tower, or the 7th Rule on your favorite social media, but especially right here on YouTube. YouTube's like, too late. You're already demonetized. You can't win us back now. Oh, also, everybody, very important. Be sure to check out, going on right now, the Mavericks and Timberwolves are in a tie game, 45-45, second quarter. Crazy playoffs. Obviously, the Timberwolves are down 3 games to nothing to the Mavericks. So, but still been exciting and fun games. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. Glenn, JR, Dave, Linda, Fran, Joshua, Chanel, Just Rosie, Melanie, Robert, Mark, Joel, Bob, Faith, and everybody. We see you. We appreciate you. Rose, Kirby. That's it for us. When you guys want to talk to Lieutenant Christopher,
put it in the comments below. Refresh the video.
That's right.
In the comments below and say how much you love Lieutenant Christopher.
As soon as this video is over, hit the refresh button. Comment section drops down like a treasure chest dropping out of the Goonies ship.
Well, and I just sent Orville Cummings the link to this, that he can see the raving comments about his work as Lieutenant Christopher later on.
Brilliant. So everybody, if you want him to know how much you appreciated him, hit the refresh button right after this video ends and leave the comments in the comment section below. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Good note. Everybody, put it on the main viewer and the comments below.